Your phone buzzes at 6:14 a.m. You reach for it before your eyes are open. One notification. Your bank. $62,000. It went through. Overnight, while you slept, humanity finally did the thing we've whispered about for 5,000 years. Every bank account, every skyscraper, every farm, every oil field, every share of every company on Earth, collected, valued, divided, equally. Congratulations! And condolences. Because outside your window, the largest catastrophe in human history has already started. And nobody stole anything. Nobody cheated. Every step was fair. By the end of this, you'll know why the fairest morning ever designed destroys the world before dinner. And you'll know something worse, which side of the split you were standing on. It isn't the side you think. I checked. It wasn't mine either. The number is real. Add up everything our species owns, every house, every field, every stock, every business, and the latest global wealth report lands at 518 trillion. Divide by 8.3 billion people. The billionaire counts as one. The newborn counts as one. $62,000 each. So you're rich, but so is everyone, which means nobody is. And somewhere in your head, a number just flickered. More than I have, or less? Hold your answer. At the end of this, it turns around and looks at you. So the machine owes you $62,000. But almost none of it is money. It's things. An apartment in Tokyo, a farm in Brazil, a factory outside Stuttgart. To put cash in your account, somebody has to sell the things. To whom? Everyone on Earth is selling. Everything, everywhere, in the same hour. A house was never worth a number. It's worth what one person will pay on one particular Tuesday. And on the morning 8 billion people liquidate the planet at once, the answer is nobody, nothing. Prices don't fall, they evaporate. The treasure disappears in the act of being touched. The richest man alive knows this. His fortune isn't a vault of coins. It's shares in his own company, a number recording what the last buyer paid. Sell it all at once and the price collapses underneath him. His fortune is completely real, only while it stays imaginary. Fine, forget money. Cut up the planet instead. Your share is about 4 acres. But 4 acres of what? Somebody's land's in Manhattan. Somebody's in the middle of the Sahara. That one's you. It was always going to be you. Equal amounts are easy. Equal value is impossible. The value was never in the dirt. It's in where the dirt is. Sounds like theory. It isn't. We've run it. With real land, real people, real blood. Sparta. Every citizen family starts with one equal lot of land, inherited, permanent. But lots pass to sons, and one man has 3 sons while his neighbor has 1. But hail flattens one field and spares the next. A few centuries later, writers complain that nearly all the land in Sparta belongs to a handful of families. Nobody broke the rules. The rules did it themselves. Rome, 133 BC. A tribune named Tiberius Gracchus climbs the speaker's platform and says it out loud. Take land from the ultra-rich, give it to citizens who have none. The crowd roars. So a mob of senators, led by the high priest of Rome, corners him on the Capitoline Hill and beats him to death with broken furniture. His body goes into the Tiber, with 200 of his followers. Some accounts say 300. Nobody counted carefully, which tells you something. His little brother tried again 10 years later. Similarly, revolutionary France seizes the estates of the church and the nobility. Within one generation, a new class of speculators owns all of it, on the same marble steps in better coats. The Soviet Union goes furthest. Abolish property itself, restart from zero. What follows isn't equality. It's famine that kills millions and a new elite. The officials who ran the split become the people who have things, deciding for the people who don't. Every reset runs the same script. The pile gets seized, the pile gets divided, and the people holding the shovel end up owning the pile. Not because the idea was evil, because somebody has to run the split, and whoever runs the split is no longer equal. All right, let's cheat. Delete every problem so far. No collapse, no hiding, no shovel holders. A perfect, painless split. Monday morning, 8 billion people, 62,000 each, exactly equal. How long does it hold? It doesn't survive to Monday night. At 9 a.m., somebody buys somebody else a coffee, and one of them has more. By noon, a man who hates ladders has paid a man who doesn't to fix his roof. By evening, a gambler has found a casino. Money moves. Moving is all it's for. And it never moves evenly, because we aren't even. Now, you already know what happens to people handed a sudden pile. You've heard it. 70% of lottery winners go broke. That number is fake. Somebody said it at a conference in 2001, a journalist wrote it down, and it escaped. In 2018, the organization everyone credits it to stated plainly they never found it and can't confirm it. Repeated ever since, obviously. But economists ran the real study. Florida, 35,000 winners, tracked 5 years. The truth is stranger. People who won between $50,000 and $150,000 were less likely to go bankrupt right away. Obviously, they'd just been handed money. But 3 to 5 years later, they were 50% more likely to file than people who'd won almost nothing. And when they filed, their assets and debts looked identical to the small winners. The money didn't prevent the fall, it postponed it. It visited, then drained back out toward the people the system already favored. And Tuesday hides a quieter bomb. The sewage worker wakes up with $62,000. So does the surgeon. So who goes to work? Wages exist because money is uneven, because somebody needs it more than they need their morning. Make everyone equally comfortable for one day, and the first thing that stops working is everything. You could run the split every Monday forever. By Friday, there'd be rich and poor again. Smaller gaps at first, maybe, but the shape comes back every time. Because the pyramid was never built out of money. It's built out of us. Which brings it back to your number. 62,000. More than you have? Or less? Here's the part the fantasy never includes. The same report publishes the median adult in each country, the person standing exactly in the middle. Not rich, not poor. In the United States, that person owns about $69,000. More than their share of the entire planet. It isn't close. Australia, 210,000. Canada, 148. Britain, 125. In 9 of the 10 biggest wealthy countries, the ordinary person in the middle, the teacher, the plumber, the nurse with a pension and half a house, loses money in the fairest morning ever designed. Germany squeaks through at 53,000. Congratulations, Germany. That's the quiet trick the dream plays on all of us. Everyone imagines standing at the bottom of the pyramid, hands out, catching what falls. Nobody imagines being the part somebody else is pointing at. From underneath, the middle looks exactly like the top. One last thing. A version of this did work. Almost 4,000 years ago, a Babylonian king named Ammi-Saduqa declared a clean slate. Every debt canceled. Everyone sold into debt slavery walked home. It's carved into clay, the only such edict that survives almost complete, one of about 30 across Mesopotamia. But look at what those kings erased. Debts, never wealth. They wiped the minus signs off the scoreboard. They never tried to make everyone's number the same. The most absolute rulers in history stood in front of the full split, holding total power, and stepped back. Maybe they knew something. So no, we can't just share everything. Not because sharing is wrong, but because the pile was never there, and even a perfect split undoes itself by dinner time. The treasure isn't a mountain of gold in a vault. It's a river. It only exists while it's moving. So, your question. If that deposit really landed tomorrow, clean and fair and final, How long would you stay equal? You'd like to think a long time. Everybody in the pyramid thinks that. If that stings, good. That's the fun part. Put your honest answer in the comments and subscribe. The strangest stories in history almost always start the same way. An ordinary morning and an idea that sounded perfectly fair. See you in the next one.